to tonight's episode of Expedition Dogman. My name's Jamie, and I will be your host for this evening. Just a little bit of admin before we begin tonight's episode. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before this year's end, so please do me a favour, like, comment, and subscribe. I've still noticed that over 80% of you are still not subscribed, so please do me a favour and hit the little subscription button, as this will help to make the channel grow. As you've noticed over this past few weeks, we have been covering what is a dogman and the different theories as to what they're surrounded by. Upon the last video, we got sent something by Cisco Rodriguez, who lives in New York, Bronx. Even though part of it is from Pennsylvania, he told me that he's moved recently. So anyway, I thought I'd do something a bit different tonight. He sent me his story about what's been happening, about the dogman on the roof. So anyway, let's get on with it. Here is his story. Things are quiet now, but the last few months were crazy. It all started towards the end of February 2021, with noises of something or someone walking around our house. And at that time, I didn't know anything about dogman. I found out from the Travel Channel, then YouTube. Well, my family and I live in a housing complex on the good quiet working class side of eastern Pennsylvania. Behind the homes here is woods and a small mountain where we can encounter deer and sometimes a bear or a coyote. So one day my son, who was 18, says he heard someone out back. So we go and check, and both window screens were slashed like Wolverine. Like Wolverine did it. So I thought maybe someone was trying to break in. So after that, I locked everything, and that sucked, because where we live, people leave their doors and windows open, which is quite common in certain parts of Pennsylvania. So a few nights after my son comes into me and his mum's room and says he hears someone walking out around the back. He has two windows that face the back, and my two sons' room is on the first floor. So I quickly get dressed and I grab my 9mm handgun and go out the front door so that I can surprise whoever it is in the back. And as soon as I walk out, I get the strong smell of wet dog and the sewer smell. But me not thinking about it, goes back in to get the flash with the flashlight. I see nothing, but the smell is stronger. Then I notice that my trees out the back are kind of bent. So my son and I look around and we see nothing. So I told him, let's go inside and you and your brother sleep upstairs in the game room. So after that, weeks pass and I'm hearing running in the back, like hands with claws hitting my house. That wet dog smell wouldn't go to the kitchen. Now, bearing in mind, the kitchen has 3 windows that face the back. He was already standing, like in a trance, staring out of the window. The hairs on his back would be up. I don't smoke in the house, so I go out to the garage to smoke, and I hear heavy breathing, like a dog, or dog yelps, or even rocks and stuff thrown at my garage door. So one day, I was watching Travel Channel about Bigfoot and dogmen, and it caught my interest, and what I was going through, other people were going through. So I got onto YouTube, and that's when I put 2 and 2 together, and realised it's got to be a dogman. So I reached out to a guy on a Travel Channel show that are hunting for Bigfoot, and he emailed me back and broke it down for me, and told me that the do's and don'ts to deal with dogmen. So long story short, I told my wife everything, and she thought I was going nuts, and that I was watching too much Travel Channel and YouTube. So one night, my wife and I were in the bed. It was like 12:30, 1 a.m. in the morning. The kids were at the grandma's house, and my wife heard the weirdest sounding howl. It was like it was in the room with us, but I'm sure it was right outside the window out back. This howl was loud, and it kind of sounded like a man with a hoarse voice trying to howl. But the thing was, we both felt that shit in our chests. It lasted a few seconds. After that, my wife turned to face me, and she said, "What the beep was that?" And I said to her, "I told you I wasn't losing my mind. How about that?" I told you, they're real, and you didn't believe me. That night, we didn't sleep till the sun started to come up. Then we fell asleep for a few hours till the kids got home. A few nights later, my wife wakes me up and says she heard something hitting the house. Then she heard something walking around on the roof. I grabbed my gun, because that's too damn close. And I also grabbed a cancer sword, a Rambo knife, and went outside to look to see if I could see anything that was on the roof. The only thing I saw were the trees out back, bent over like something was hanging from them. They were bent so bad that it blocked my back door. I had to cut down all 6 of them. So after that, it was all kinds of crazy things happening. Then we got to bed, snowstorms. Then we got 2 bad snowstorms, and things started to calm down after that. Things would happen here and there, but before the snow melted, I was driving to the store, and as I was turning to get out of our complex, I saw tracks leading to the woods, and these were big-ass dog tracks. That's when it really hit me. These things are real. So I got out in my car and started following it. But then they just stopped. That's when I knew that I fucked up. So if there's no more sharks, then he's up high watching me. I began to get this shaky feeling, and I was scared to move. I started looking round without moving my head. Just my eyes. I didn't see anything. So I started walking back for a little time. I saw I was close to the main road at my car, and I ran, like the devil himself was behind me. So I jumped in the car and smoked the tyres a few feet. I had a modded Honda at the time, but from there on things began to get less and less. Then summer came, and we haven't heard anything since. So that's everything to the best that I remember. And like I said, this all happened, and I would be happy to do whatever is needed to prove this to all of you, the truth. And you can speak to my wife also, if needed. Thanks for letting me share my story. Now, just a few things to go over on his story. 1. Bigfoot and dogmen both like to play with the trees. They can both bend them out of shape. Dogmen also are known to have that sewer and dog feeling. Also, for some strange reason, dogmen are attracted to tobacco. I will be covering this in a later video as we debunk his story. But anyway, what do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And until next time, please be aware of the howl. Thank you, and good night.